morning, everyone. So I have a few more minutes before my next Zoom call, and I thought I would take the opportunity to just chat a little bit about Stonehenge with you guys. And I was there a couple months ago. It was awesome. I told my boyfriend, I said, I'm gonna be going inside the circle. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, they don't allow people inside the circle anymore. And I said, no, I see myself inside the circle. And he said, okay, well, if you want to end up in an English prison or jail, you'll go in the circle. I saw it happening. I knew I was going to do it. Anyway, they have private tours at dusk and dawn where they take people into the circle. So I did get to go into the circle and I did not have to go to prison. But it was really cool. And I'll tell you more about the experience. But they do have somebody guarding the stones basically 24/7. And they don't the guards and I guess the security, they don't have anywhere to sit, or if it's raining, they just have to be out in the weather, which is kind of crazy. I'm sure they get lots of breaks, but to me, that was a little bit crazy. So here in Denver, they have an exhibit exploring Stonehenge at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. And I thought, I can't go there because it would just be a joke to me. I was there at Stonehenge. And I think some of the stories that even we were told there they didn't really resonate with me. So you guys know what I mean? I've been to museums before, and I remember one time I was at a museum and they had a little rattle. There was a little rattle in the case, and they said it was for a baby toy. And I thought, what if it was for healing? What if it was a rattle that the shamans used for healing, right? I don't resonate with a lot of the stuff. I will look at it, and I don't know if I've been there before in another lifetime, but I'll look at it and say that's wrong. And who am I, right, to say that they're wrong? The historians, the people who actually dug this up and found it and surmised what they thought it was used for. Like, who am I to say they're wrong? I laugh at myself. It's super funny. But if I'm such a free thinker that I try to really feel into it and see what was it used for. The same would go for, so this bracelet, camera. This bracelet is really cool and spirals, and so they might have this in a museum someday and say this person just wore it as jewelry, not figuring that maybe the spiral was something that she resonated with, or maybe it was a male that wore this bracelet. They don't know. They find it somewhere, buried in the dirt someday, and they're going to say, this is what it was used for. Maybe this is my healing bracelet. Maybe this is my Wonder Woman bracelet that deflects stuff, right? Maybe it's something else. Maybe I wear it as the significance of birth, life, and rebirth for the spiral. They surmise what they think it's used for, but I see jewelry in the windows of some of these museums, and I'm like, oh, like what if a husband or a partner gave them that piece of jewelry and a shaman had blessed it for protection, and it's such a powerful piece of jewelry, and here it is in the window of a museum saying it was just a piece of jewelry. It could have meant so much more to the person that owned it. And maybe it was stolen from them, or you just don't know the whole history behind these pieces. And so for me, when I want to know about something, I want to go experience it. And I don't like to read the placards on on the exhibits, because I want to be able to tune into it and see what it means to me. So when I went to Stonehenge, it was such an amazing experience. And just so you know, I'm going to talk about Avebury as well, or I think that's how they say it, Avebury. It's about, from what I remember, we drove about 45 minutes north of Stonehenge, and there's another stone circle, right? People don't know about this. And here's how it went for me. So having dinner with some new friends in England, and we were talking about Stonehenge, and it felt very masculine to me. The stones there felt very masculine. We got to go into the circle. There was about 20 of us, and lots of people were just like selfie, taking pictures, with the stones. And I thought, oh my gosh, like there needs to be a different reverence here. So I was quietly walked the circle in a clockwise motion, and then a counterclockwise motion is what I felt to do. I walked outside the circle, I walked inside the circle. It was just really beautiful, but very masculine to me. And I ended up sitting on the ground, just wanting to ground inside the circle. And it felt like there were these waves like underneath me. It was so crazy. It just felt like waves. And I don't know if there's some kind of aquifer or underground, there's water. I don't know that anybody has said anything about that. Have they dug any deeper? How far down do the stones go? Is that it? I mean, are they just that's how high they were forever and ever? I just didn't I felt like it went deeper than that. It felt like maybe the stones were just at their belt line, right? Like if we have our upper torso, and that was the upper torso of the stones. I mean, I really don't know. So it was just really cool to experience them that way. And then I knew that I had to go to Avebury and check that out and see what those stones felt like. And they were very feminine. So, was there a yin and the yang? Was there some intention that they had about the stones? And there was the masculine energy and the feminine energy? Was what I was feeling just a bunch of crock? And I don't know what I'm talking about. It was my experience. And so it was just such a beautiful, um, it was just such a beautiful trip when we went out there. And now I feel like the harmonic eggs have the Stonehenge energy because two of the eggs are now just a few hours from Stonehenge. And you guys wouldn't have believed it. You really can go to a museum and see things like this, or you can go experience it for yourself and you get a whole different viewpoint from that experience. It's really, really cool. Let me just check my notes really quick. Um, oh, the last thing I want to say then, I've been to the Sphinx in Egypt. Actually stood at the foot of it because I was 28 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know how amazing that experience was when I was 28, but now I do. And never took a picture, which is so crazy. Here I am in Egypt, standing at the foot of the Sphinx because we were with bodyguards and we were with some diplomats, and I didn't even understand what I had access to at that moment, which is so sad because it was so beautiful. However, one of the analogies that I give is, why would you take a picture in your own living room? Because I felt so at home there. I knew that I had been there many, many, many times, or for many, many, many years. And so I never took a picture. But I was recently watching a documentary, and they said that there is mold on the Sphinx. Now, they already know that face that's on there wasn't the original face. They think it was more of a lion. Um, and there are sphinxes, smaller ones in Greece. I want to tell you that too, because we saw some amazing stuff in museums in Greece that were very Egyptian-like. So obviously there was cross-culture things. There was something going on. Either the Egyptians came over to Greece, or the Greece adopted some things because they had gone over to Egypt. But there was little statues of pharaohs and very Egyptian type stuff there. But they had some sphinxes there that we took pictures of. Mostly they said they were for like protecting graves, protecting the grave sites. But anyway, I digress. So they said that they found mold on the Sphinx. The last time water was there was like 150 million years ago. So everything we know about our history probably is wrong. And that's really the point of this. I want people to learn how to think. I want people to really tune into their body and see what resonates with them and how and why. I would love to hear some of you guys' experience of going to a museum. And I went to the mummy exhibit in the Denver museum. I think it was the Museum of Arts for that one. And I'm looking at these mummies, and they dated them. And seriously, the one that was dated earlier seemed older than the one that was dated older. And that's just how it felt to me. So I would love to hear your guys' experiences about how you've been to museums and how you would maybe look at something and say, that doesn't feel right. It felt like that was maybe used for something else, or it had a different meaning, different interpretation. So share with me anything that you might have experienced from that. All right, you guys, have a great day. Thanks for listening.